Hello again, everybody. It's Harry Boxer, Technical Trader. Monday night, October the 17th, and these are the charts of the day. I'm going to go over some longs and shorts today. The short list is even longer than the long list, so it's going to be a longer video than usual. I wanted you to take a look at some of the action on both sides today. ESIC, wanted to point out the pop it had 2 days ago and a little 2 consecutive inside days, a little bit of a mini wedge perhaps forming. I like the technicals. I like the way it looks. It's broken out above that line. Longs it holds 515 or thereabout. Or let's say 515 zone, which is support. If we draw a line across this line here, all the way back here, that's my support zone. So hopefully, if we do get a market pullback and that holds in this range, we could see that stock move up towards 6.25, maybe even 7. Those will be my 2 targets for ESIC. OPTT doubled in the last 2 weeks, folks. A big pop here, a beautiful 3-day wedge right at the moving average, holding the 50, and then a pop out. Now today he got all the way up to 469 before backing off and only closed up 11 cents, but I wanted to point out that the declining tops line, lateral price resistance, and then secondary resistance and much more key resistance up here was actually tested today. That's a key level. If taken out, that could lead to a move up towards 5.5. But let's look to see first for a pullback consolidation that tests the 410 zone and maybe even gets down to the 385 area. I wouldn't want to see go below that, but the 385 to 4 zone could be a nice entry opportunity should it come on a consolidated pullback. Right now, our RNOW continues to be a beautiful swing trade, and it's working. Notice that the long-term channel here has been a steady riser, and I wouldn't shock to see this in the high 40s, but I think we have a target around 43, 44, something up in that range. So let's see if it does get up there. OXGN. The last couple sessions had some nice movement. Let's clean this up a little bit here. Take out some of these lines so you can see the pattern. And then, there you go. And then you'll see that it had a big thrust yesterday and backed off. Today it pulled back down to the 21 and then exploded off of that to close up 14 cents or 10.6%. Now there's resistance up around $1.90. That would be my next target. If we can get through that, then a longer term move, perhaps in the 3.5 zone, could take place. But for now, clean breakout above the declining 50-day moving average and declining tops line breaks the channel top, perhaps sets us off on a new uptrend. We'll see if that does occur. Meanwhile, back at the ranch, Mitek ran all the way up to $12.12 today. That's up from $8.30 just a week and a half ago. Nice move up in the order of nearly 50%. But more importantly, if you scroll in, as noted last week, the declining tops line was broken, the 50-day moving average and 21-day moving average were broken. It got reversed off of this low from about 9.5, 3 days ago, up to as high as 12.12 today. We may be getting up towards resistance zone up around 13, but ultimately, the way this looks, provided the market cooperates, of course, I could see this being a $16, $17 stock short term. OPK, another nice day today there. Although it did back off to the breakout point and popped and bounced a little bit, only up 2 cents today, but I like the way it's acting. I like the technicals a lot, and I think that this makes it up towards 570, 75 short term. ACUR, Acura, after breaking out that line and then pulling back into a little consolidation flag type pattern, it broke out, pulled back, and today back up again another 20 cents, 4.4%. It's up in this resistance zone up here that could cause a pullback, but ultimately I wouldn't be shocked to see 6.5, 3/4 up near the spike high from June. Uranium stock USU, that's USEC, 2 consecutive big up days with a pop yesterday, a pull back to the breakout point and 21-day moving average, and then a thrust that took it from $1.72 to $2.29 today. Resistance around 250 is my short-term target. Secondary target at the declining tops line around 275. But I think it gets to the 293 zone, which is much more overhead resistance, before pulling back into the 240-50 zone. Ideally, we'll see what happens here. On Inhibitex, broke a key declining tops line and 50-day moving average today with a thrust of 13.5% or 43 cents on 2.4 million. That's the biggest volume that's traded on an up day, not just on an up day, the biggest volume period since last April. So terrific. Breakout point could lead to higher levels. My target's about 460, 65, something like that, short term. And lastly, on the long side is LQDT, which popped across this declining top line. Only closed up 99 cents to 3.14%, and one time as high as 33.37. You'll see, if you note on the chart, that that is a high zone right up here that may be resistance. If it does get through here, I expect to test the highs up around 37 short term. Now that's it for the longs. On the short side, the boxer short list that I want to discuss today includes IPCM, which you can see at this point had broken down hard, and it's back and filled here, ran up to the declining top line on top of what I have is a parallel channel, and then looks like it could roll over here. The way the stock's acting in its zone, I would not be shocked to see it break down below 35, which is my short-term target, and get to my secondary target around 29. Ultimately, if the market has a much deeper bear market move, we could see something in the mid-20s. Mercadolibre, stair-stepping down, has had a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5-wave move down and then a snapback, but I'm not so sure this is an important low. I'm just not seeing the technicals in here that are indicating to me, especially down in this zone, indicating that that's anything more than a technical snapback. We reached a 52 yesterday and backed off today, and I think that we could be embarked on at least a retest down towards the 53, 55 zone at the very least, and perhaps a full test down towards 48. FLS, also similar pattern, declining channel. You can see how the snapback here got up to the declining 50-period moving average and near the top of the channel. A rollover may take place. We were down 331 or 4% today. But a retest down towards the 72 zone short term is my target, and perhaps even a full test down in the mid-60s. OpenTable continues to look ugly ever since it cracked in early May. It stair-stepped down, snapback here, stair-step and roll over hard, and then stair-step its way lower. We're snapping back to resistance. You can see these lows in here have perhaps created some resistance along with the declining top line and moving average. If it rolls over here, we could see a retest of low at 40 and perhaps even something in the low to mid 30s. So take care on that one. Shanda Yuchai, which we put out as a short here and here, basically continues lower. It double bottomed and snapped back to the moving averages, but today dropped 70 cents or 4.3%. And it looks like it may roll over here to release retest 12.5. But ultimately, if it cracks, we could see the stock in the high single digits. Trex continues in an ugly downtrend, and if this zone of support is taken out, this could fall away and fall away rapidly. I'm looking for something for at least down around 12 and perhaps even as low as 9 or 10. Waters Corp, massive consolidation taking place after a waterfall type decline to a support line right here that's held it on several occasions. It did roll over for 203 today, and if it cracks down here and takes out the 73 range, this could fall away into the mid-60s. Keep close eye on that one. BID, Sotheby's. After this bear wedge was cracked here, it snapped back to the moving averages, but today rolled over $1.91, almost 6%. And if it gets any lower than right this zone here, we can see a full retest of the lows towards 25. Fossil. Big bear wedge formed after this waterfall decline. It then rolled over hard, retested the lows, and bounced sharply right up to resistance. Today reversed from 96.31 to 92.47, closed 93.03, down $1.75. But it could be the beginning of a new decline that takes it dramatically lower to at least retest the low to mid 70s for starters. Helmerich and Payne, HP, which fell hard in August, rebounded, and then fell hard again and rebounded, rolled over again for a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5-wave decline. Got a much sharper snapback here, but this low and these highs and a gap in this range caused resistance along with the parallel declining tops line and 50-day moving average. Today dropping 273 or 5.6%. This stock could be on its way back down for at least a move down towards 41, 42, but if it cracks that zone, a full retest of lows in the mid-30s could take place. I just noticed, folks, that I didn't have this properly set up, so my apologies. There you go, that's a lot better, isn't it? Rockwell, which has been in a parallel channel, has moved right back up to resistance at the top of the declining channel and this double top here. So resistance is in a zone that dropped 390 or 6% today and may fall back down to retest the mid-50s, maybe even low 50s. Coherent, COHR, after this massive head and shoulders top, cracked and rebounded right back to resistance before falling away today at $2, 4%. But if this is the beginning of a new decline, we may see a pullback retest of 40.41 and maybe even something down in the mid-30s eventually. AGCO, topping pattern, hard break, rebound to resistance, another sharp break, and then a rebound to resistance, but today dropping 2.64 or 6.6%. And if this falls down to retest the lows, we could see a pullback towards 30 again. GenProbe, GPRO, and a ugly decline, but this consolidation here could set it up for more downside. Look for a move down towards the mid-40s. CRE, don't know what happened here, but hang on a sec. There's your actual trend channel. We reached not far from the top of that channel here, and the 50-day, and then fell away hard today, down 312 or 10.5%. That could be setting us up for more downside and maybe a retest of the low down around 23. Dolby, been an ugly decline for a year now and continues to go lower. I'm not sure where this goes, but I'm looking for something in the low 20s. Ensign Group, after this topping pattern broke hard in August, it's been backing and filling for a couple months now, almost 3 months, but today it fell $1.13 or 4.77% and may come down and retest 19.520. If that breaks, we could see something in the mid-teens. Scott's Miracle-Gro, which is a box of short line up here, broke hard, snapped back, and a couple times it's bounced, but it looks like it's starting to roll over again. Watch for a test to maybe take out of 42. If that happens, look for something in the mid-to high 30s. Bio-Rad, big wedge formation here. And it today broke 308 or 3.28%, but this pattern appears to be coming out of the wedge to the downside. Look for a test of 83.85, and if that breaks, something around 80. And lastly is NPK, National Presto, which has come all the way down from 135 down to the 80 range, and yet doesn't look like it's bottomed yet, although this could be a bottoming formation. Today's action down 306 at 3.1% could be the start of a new pullback. We'll see if support at 89 and then at 85 holds, but that's my short-term targets. And that's it for today. We have a very treacherous market out there. Be very careful, and we'll talk to you tomorrow. Bye-bye.